Right.
Hello. It's Motivation Mornings with Marnie and Melissa. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Houston. I'm a health insurance specialist and financial planner in Victoria, BC, and I like dancing to the right music.
And good morning, everybody. I'm Marnie Dangerfield, also here in Victoria, BC, and I'm excited this morning because we have a special guest. You'll see her on our screen. Well, she's going to be talking a bit, but we're coast to coast this morning, which is fun. It's a first for our show, so we're really excited to have Natalie with us. But we'll just start with our regular intro, and then we'll be inviting Natalie in. So,
Good. Um,
oh yeah. And feel free to say hi in the comments and let us know you're here and, and such. And so we're going to be starting off with our value statement in a bit, and then Melissa and I are going to share our what's inspiring us this week, and then we're going to be introducing Natalie, and she's going to take us through some very interesting things with creativity and talking about creativity and such. So I'm excited about that. And then we'll be rounding out with how to contact us if you're interested. And then, as always, Melissa's marvelous motivational quote
we've added an
will
M.
be happening. So,
Lovely. Well, our value statement today we gather
in the spirit of possibility,
in support of community,
to encourage holistic well being,
to empower our authentic selves,
to share appreciation,
to express compassion.
and to enjoy this gift of life.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yes. And I was trying to multitask and almost messed up the values this morning because I realized I don't have Facebook up on my phone. Sorry about that.
I need to create the intention of really firming it up in my mind so I don't have to look.
Yes. Yeah.
I know it's up there.
I know. We've been saying it every morning for every week for a year, but anyway. So what's inspiring you this week, Melissa?
Well, mine is a very practical thing this week. It's starting to become the time where people are thinking about the holidays. And this year, there's been a lot of talk about how there's going to be a lot of online purchases and mail happening. And I came across an article about 15 online alternatives to Amazon. And, I full disclosure, I still use Amazon for things that I can't find elsewhere and that, but it would be great to support some smaller companies. The list includes a bunch of companies that specialize in like reduced packaging, and ethically sourced stuff, vegan stuff, just more sustainable products. So I was really excited when I saw the list because I was like, oh, here's an alternative. Because the thing with me is most of my family, or all of my family, does not live here. So every holiday season, I am definitely mailing stuff. So it's nice to have some alternatives to look at for things that match my values a little bit more. So I'm really excited to check those out. Because they are saying too that you should be getting your mailing done earlier this year since it's supposed to be so busy. So it's on my mind already to start looking at this before December. So I will definitely share the article with all the links to the different places in the comments in case anyone else wants to check them out too.
Oh, yay. Thank you. Yes, please. I look forward to seeing that. That's good. And I want to say good morning to Leanne and Rose. Thanks for joining us. And feel free to share in the comments what's inspiring you this week. We'd love to hear. And anybody else who's hopping on. I see there's a couple more people if you want to say hi. And so this week, what's inspiring me, oh gosh, there's so much. But what came to me this morning was democracy. I'm just really, it's not perfect. There's glitches. There's all these things. We recently here in BC had an election. during a pandemic, and just how well it went and how many people still were involved. And then seeing, no matter what side you are in the States, just seeing how many Americans went and voted. It's the highest turnout, and just having that faith in a democratic system, and having that right to vote, and seeing it still being believed in and followed. That's what's inspiring me this week.
That's great. Yes, it was very, I mean, it was a little bit unnerving to have it take so long to get all the votes. But the fact that it was contributed by the fact that so many people had voted, that was wonderful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've come to the portion. We'll bring Natalie in here.
Yes, I can't wait.
Hello.
Natalie.
Welcome, Natalie.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Marnie and I have known each other virtually for a few months, and uh, and I am on the other coast. I'm just outside Halifax, and so it's almost lunchtime for those of you who are trying to, grab that last sip of coffee or your muffin before you go out the door. So I've been up for a while. I can't say I've had my coffee or my muffin yet, but I have been up for a little while.
Well, it's so awesome that you are joining us and taking the time out of your day to help boost up everyone's motivation and inspiration. I can't wait to hear more about everything that you're involved with.
Well, I met Marnie through intentional creativity. I'm a new artist. I worked in television for 29 years, and took a severance package a few years ago and tried to figure out what was going to be next. And so not being in television allowed me some time to stop and think and start to relax and start to, savor life and stuff. And I'm involved in teaching Sunday school, and I'm involved in painting and just appreciating the world, and not letting it disappear so fast. Because I'm one of those people who, like many, spend 5 days wishing for the other two.
Mm.
And time flies when you do that. One of the things I did recently was I talked to some people about art and creativity. And um, I am a firm believer that we are all born creative. So when somebody says, "Oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body," or "I can't draw a stick figure," or whatever, it gets my hackles up just a little bit, because I know that they're creative. Something has just happened along the way that has made them doubt that they are. And creativity doesn't necessarily mean drawing pictures or painting or whatever. Creativity is an approach to life. And right now, the number one thing that chief executive officers and hiring people and HR people are looking for around the world on resumes is creativity. Because there's a lot of change, and you deal with change creatively if you want to stay sane. So I thought I would tackle some of these creativity assumptions this morning. So I'm going to show you a picture. Please be the right picture. There we go. Okay, now I have to share my screen. Oh, I'm losing it. I want that.
You can do it. We believe in you.
Oh, I know. We did practice this. It didn't work very well. It worked well then, but I'm pressing too many buttons. Okay, so one of my things that I didn't learn while I was at TV was, oh, this is going so well. Okay, I need to hit the share screen button. There we go. And I need to hit this button and hit share. Oh, here, yes. All right. If you guys got this magnificent painting.
Yes, we do. It's perfect.
Yes,
Right.
beautiful.
All right, tell me about this painting. Tell me what you feel when you see this painting. What do you see? What do you think,
I
Melissa?
know you want to go first, Marnie.
Hmm? Oh, you
Did you
spoke,
want to
Melissa. You
comment?
go.
Okay. I feel lightness. Actually, I see a woman. I see her head with her hair sort of done up and her arm outstretched and her other arm sort of down. But the colors are very light, very spring-like, floral in some ways.
Okay, what do you think, Marnie? What do you see?
Oh, and thank you, Leanne, is watching, and she's saying it's beautiful. So thank you, Leanne. And feel free to share what you're seeing and feeling in the comments too, Leanne. So for me, I find it's interesting. It's a mix of, I feel calm. I think that's part of the colors, but I also feel energy. Like Melissa was saying, I see a woman as well, and I kind of feel like she's dancing and flowers, petals are flying around. Um, so it's also happy making when I think of when I say that. So a whole mix of things.
So it's evoked an emotional response from you. You feel good when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Marnie? What do you think the painter was thinking when they painted it?
Ooh, goodness. I
Like,
can't even.
was there a message? I mean, you said it makes you happy. Do you think the painter might have been happy?
I would, whether they knew it or not, I think they were, because that's what came out on the page.
Okay.
Um,
What about you, Melissa?
I would think so, because for me, it definitely has sort of a movement to it. So I feel like it was trying to move the emotions somehow, but positively. Trying to,
All right. Do you want to meet the painter?
yes.
yes, and I'll
Oh,
just quickly add as you're doing that, Leanne says she sees a lady light and airy. So
ooh,
I like that, Leanne. Thanks.
okay. Well,
Oh, she likes to think it's a love letter. Oh,
oh,
beautiful.
I love that.
Oh, thanks, Leanne.
There's the painter.
Oh, look at that.
Now, that is my now 23-year-old.
Really?
I permaplaqued the painting and we kept it. And he can't tell you what he was thinking. I've asked him. I said, "Do you remember doing this?" And he says, "No."
Do you remember the taste of the paint? You know?
Yeah. Okay. So he'd have been about somewhere between 18 months, 2 years old when he did this.
Wow.
And this is in our backyard, and it's, good thing it's child safe paint, because I knew it was going everywhere. He's got it everywhere. He's got it on his face, and he's got it on his mouth, and he's got it on his hands, and it was everywhere. But yeah, look what he created. You know, and I'm fond of saying, is it a work of a master? No, but it's a work of the master. Okay, so. And I did something right, because David at 23 is still sketching and being creative and doing that sort of thing. So I love this picture. I keep them handy, and I keep them as inspiration for me, just because that is the pure joy of creativity. He doesn't care if the painting's going to sell. He doesn't care if somebody's going to look at it and give them their opinion of it. He's just doing it because he loves it. And I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And so what we need to do is we need to tap back into that. We all are creative. I'm thoroughly convinced we're all creative. Now maybe your creativity is in how you cook dinner, maybe you love to cook dinner. Maybe your creativity is writing, um, or or making gifts for people. Um, so we're all creative. Um, the the intentional creativity teacher that Marnie and I have been introduced to, she talks about the tyranny of the talented. And so when you tell somebody, or when you say somebody is talented, it number one, it immediately puts pressure on them, and it's a judgment call. Um, Elizabeth Gilbert, the author who did Eat, Pray, Love, she has a TED talk on talent and genius. And she said after the hit of Eat, Pray, Love that all of a sudden there was this humongous pressure because she didn't expect the book to do what it did. And all of a sudden, people are asking her, so what are you writing next? And she said she then got a glimpse of how much pressure musicians and artists and so on are under. So, and I'd advise you to see if you can find it, because she talks about genius, which is not a judgment call. Genius at one point was a mythological critter that came down and advised you as you were painting sort of some other thing. But that's aside. So I want you to think back. I want you to think about when you were little. What did you like to do? Melissa, what did you like to do? Did you like to draw or color or cut, or what did you like to do?
I did. In fact, I think I shared it on Motivation Mornings before that the very first career aspiration I had was to be an artist. So I did enjoy coloring and painting and drawing.
Do you still now?
Not very often. I do make homemade greeting cards. So that is one creative outlet that I do on a somewhat regular basis. And I enjoy singing, which is
Ah,
also considered
definitely
creative.
creative there. I love that. What about you, Marnie? Do you remember what you did as a little person?
I got dirty. Uh,
Excellent.
so
So did David.
And I just wanted to quickly share that Rose gave some lovely feedback that she loves seeing how your son was expressing, was getting to express himself like that, and Leanne was sharing that she loves baking and making gifts for people. So that's awesome shares. But yes, I would say I can't remember what I was talking about. Yeah, but for me, what comes to me is I was just always playing in the dirt and making things outside. Yeah.
Did
So
you
you
make
were
forts,
creating.
Marnie?
Sorry.
Did you make forts?
Um, I basically I didn't necessarily make forts. I would create in like I would with the shrubs and stuff. So if I could find a place where I could curl under and it was like the fort, and then I would have make a seat and a table and that kind of stuff.
Creating in nature, that's even better. So some people very clearly remember the moment when somebody took the wind out of their sails as a kid. Some people very clearly, like a teacher may have said the wrong thing, or um, they've held up an image to somebody and said, look, look, look. And somebody would say, oh, is that your dog? No, it's you, and or the tree that they look like, the average child's tree, which is, like a little few sticks and the things. Somebody tried to teach them how to make it look realistic instead of self-expressing. Then they became a copier of what they saw. Do you guys remember a moment like that?
Not an explicit moment, but I do remember looking at my art as a child and saying, I'm not good enough to do this for a career.
So where did that come from?
I don't know. I think I was just comparing what I did to other people, what I saw other people who were better, quote unquote, better, and just making that determination. I don't remember it coming as an external judgment from someone else.
Okay. But we also are shaped by what our society gives us and what we see and how we're influenced. Um, and I remember um, being with babysitter and wanting to trade coloring pages with her because I couldn't stay inside the lines and she could. And I thought it was really, really important to stay inside the lines. It's not.
Exactly.
What about you, Marnie? Did you have a moment where somebody made you doubt yourself?
I did. Yeah. And I just want to mention Leanne has shared in the comments as well that she had the same thing about comparing, and I guess she was in the Ontario school system and she didn't conform. And so ended up failing our class, which is like, that's to me an impossibility, but yeah, so it's interesting. There's what happens. And as she just said, all art is subjective, and that's so true, Leanne. And Leanne, I'll just say, is a very creative person now, and that's what she does, is create. So it's awesome that she didn't allow that to stop her. Um, but yes, and I would say, I know for me, I compared greatly with other people around me, similar to Melissa, who I just thought were better. And I did have, I have a very clear memory. I was actually going to do a blog post with an art teacher when I was in elementary, um, where I was so excited. I just thought I'd created the best thing ever. And it, and this is not on her. I'm not trying to put shame or judgment on her or whatever. Who knows what her day was like, but she was just like, "You're proud of that?" Like, and pointed out all the things that were not lined up. So yeah.
Well, all of us have a role to play in that. I mean, the first thing a child does is they bring you something to show you that they're proud of. Okay. They're expecting a judgment. And you need to temper that a little bit and get away from making that type of comment. And you can make very open comments. You can look at, like, if we think about David's picture again, I could look at that and go, "Oh, look at the blue everywhere," or "Tell me about your picture," or "What is this?" or "What are you thinking?" And those things are very, very important because children will insist that you tell them it's good. And if you start telling them it's good, then they're making it for you. They're not making it for themselves.
Wow. Yeah.
And I could go on a long time about kids and so on, but I recognize that we're probably getting close to the half hour. But maybe we can chat again sometime.
That's lovely. And I
There's
really,
so much that I could talk to about kids and about art and creativity and the joy that people that I've said, "Come on, try this. Just put paint on the paper. Be big." That was something that Marnie and I learned from Shiloh, is to be big, because when you're a child, a piece of paper is like this big. Okay, and you get big fat crayons or paint and you're going like this. Okay, and then you get older and you try to put them in the lines, and then you get even older still and you learn to write, and everything is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
It's true.
I have a 4 by 5 foot canvas on the go right now. It's huge. I have to stand on a stool to reach the top of it.
So you would be a supporter of using your driveway and a bunch of chalk?
I would be, except getting up and down is a problem for me. But I would, like, all of that stuff that you saw during the first of COVID, when people were out crying. Yeah, use use driveways, use ugly old fences, use, like, I love seeing street art. I love seeing buildings done with proper art and so on. And it's, I mean, that's self-expression. They're not copying anybody. So power to drawing. And I dare everybody who's watching to doodle. Just sit and doodle. Just have your pen going. When you're in a meeting, pretend you're taking notes and doodle. And you'll be surprised at how much you retain from the meeting. You know, teachers who got after kids for doodling in the school, in classrooms, like, stop doodling and pay attention. Those kids were actually paying more attention than some of their peers. So
I actually heard a really good story about that, about the creator of the bullet journal. And I guess he was like that, where he was able to retain more by drawing while he was listening to the teachers. And the teachers initially thought he was not paying attention, but then they eventually figured out that he was paying more attention by doing that.
a lot of CEOs doodle. I know my station manager at the station down here, he was always doodling in meetings. And people would say, is he paying attention? Yeah, he was paying attention. So cool.
Well, thank you so much, Natalie. It was such a pleasure having you on today. Yes, and yes, you are welcome to come back and chat with us more another date if you like.
Yes, most definitely. And I hope if you're watching live or watching the replay that you take up Natalie's dare of just wherever you are, whatever age, just letting that pen go to paper and expressing, self-expressing for you, not for anybody else, but it's for you, and just having fun with it. And I wanted to just, I know we're going to share our contact info and our gratitude, but I just wanted to share a couple of the comments because Rose mentioned that she also loves art on buildings as well. And Leanne's given some lovely feedback, Natalie, because I know you're kind of a recent painter, and I will say Natalie's paintings, I don't want to, they're just, I enjoy taking them in. But Leanne is adoring the picture behind you, Natalie. She's attracted to it. And Rose has mentioned, it was so nice listening to you, Natalie. And so just lovely feedback. So thank you, Rose and Leanne. That's wonderful.
I'll take this moment to tell you where you can see more of my work.
Please.
I have my own website. It's new to me. I set it up in September, so that's all exciting. So there's some work on my site. It's Natalie Moyes. You can see my name on the screen there. Those of you who have the Zoom up, nataliemoyes.com. And there's an exercise there, if you'd like it, that is, it's a doodle exercise. And it takes you through some things to make you think about inside, how you react to things or what you think about things that you haven't thought about lately. And see what else is there. There's some blog posts and so on. You'll see the story of David and the painting. That's on my blog post. So I hope you take a peek and enjoy what you see. This whole painting journey has changed my life significantly, and I want to share.
That's wonderful. And yes, and excuse me, I have included that in the write-up for today's show. So if anybody wants to, they can just click on there and have a look. And I highly recommend the Dynamic Doodles ebook that she has. It's most enjoyable. And she also has a class coming up soon in a couple of weeks. So you can check that out on her website. So thank you so much, Natalie. So lovely to have you.
I have to ask, do you have an Instagram? Because I went looking this morning and I couldn't find one.
No, and to tell you the truth, I didn't even join Facebook till a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
so I haven't. I'm one thing at a time. You saw what I was doing with trying to share the screen. So,
well, if you ever start one, please let us know.
But the website's a great place to check everything out. So.
Well, I'm going to quickly share our contact info here in case anyone wants to contact us, we have our email at motivation.mornings@gmail.com. You are likely on our Facebook page, MM with MM, but if you aren't, please visit us there. That's where we're sharing all the resources and links that we discussed throughout the webcast. Our Instagram's motivation_mornings_with_MM. I've got our reminders and our motivational quotes on there. And then we have our YouTube channel where we have the recordings. That's great for anyone who is not able to join us live on Facebook and likes to subscribe and get reminders whenever the recordings are posted. And I don't know about you, Marnie, but my gratitude today is just for you and Natalie, for you for putting us in contact and arranging all of this today. And Natalie, thank you so much for taking the time out. It's a great way to start the day. I always love meeting new friendly faces.
Pleasure to be here.
Yes, I'm going to round that out and echo that gratitude. That's my gratitude this morning too. I'm just really appreciating your presence here, Natalie, in this discussion, and what I hope is opening things up for people and getting curious about creativity and self-expression, and releasing the shame and judgment about it, and just doing it for joy and yeah, that process. So thank you. Really
You're most
grateful.
welcome.
All right, and to finish us off for the day, we are going over to our quote. I did want to select today's quote to give homage to Remembrance Day and the people that we are remembering on that day. So I chose, "If you really love one another, you will not be able to avoid making sacrifices," by Mother Teresa. I hope everyone has a very meaningful Remembrance Day tomorrow. And thank you all for joining us today on a Tuesday, surprise Tuesday show.
Yeah.
We'll be
Yes.
back to Wednesday next week, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. And just thank you, Leanne and Rose, for switching with us and being here with us live this morning. I really appreciate that. And anyone watching the replay, thanks for catching the replay. We'll be back Wednesday next week. So
Love to see you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
great day. And hearts are flying up on the Facebook. So woohoo. So many hearts. Love to you all. Bye.
Bye.